Hey everybody, good morning. This is Joe Van Cleve and I'm going to bring you a video today where we're going to talk a little bit about video production and specifically about sound. Now many of you know that to get really good quality voice sound on a video, it's really preferable to have a camera that takes external microphone plug-ins and using high quality microphones like a lavalier mic, a clip-on mic next to the speaker. That's the ideal situation, but oftentimes you're going to be using a camera that doesn't have external inputs, and that's especially true with cameras that are a few years old. And in the case of my particular situation, I'm using a Lumix G5. In fact, that's what we're recording with right now. It is a fine camera for doing this kind of work, but its one real downfall is it does not have those external mic inputs. And so what is a person to do? Do you spend $800 to $1,000 on a new camera just to get that new feature, or can you make the camera you have work for you? Well, in this particular case, the Lumix G5 has a pair of built-in stereo mics that are mounted on top of the camera above the lens, directly in front of the hot shoe. And so looking at it, I noticed if I could build a reflector that would bounce some of the sound coming from the speaker down onto the microphones, I might be able to make a more directional recording capability for sound in this camera. And that's what I've gone ahead and done yesterday. I built a little reflector, and that's what I'm going to show you. So, like a lot of the projects I do, I typically make them from materials that I have around the house or my workshop. And I've been accused of being a pack rat for that reason, but it's kind of nice to save stuff and reuse it. So in this case, what I had was this piece of plastic channel that I had saved from a screen door, a plastic framed screen door that I bought from a hardware store. And that screen door kit had a bunch of this channel. Now, as it turns out, this thickness of this plastic is almost ideal for fitting underneath into the hot shoe of this camera. And so what I did is I cut an angle piece, a 90-degree piece of this, and here it is. And then I had some sheet brass, some stiff sheet brass in my workshop. That's always handy to have. And I got some 2mm M2 metric nuts and washers and screws from the hardware store to mount this. And the way this works is this is the front, and it mounts in the hot shoe of the camera, and it bounces the sound down onto the microphones. So the real lesson from this project is that you don't always have to replace your camera with the next upgraded model just because it's lacking in some feature. It's always possible to make a handmade workaround solution that works pretty good. In this case, the solution to making a more of a getting rid of the omnidirectional sound, making more of a directional sound pattern for your camera involves a reflector. My particular solution was just a piece of brass that was bent, reflecting the sound down, but you can do it a lot of different ways. Ideally, maybe like a semi-parabolic round thing that can take the sound and focus it more directly. The other way to get a more front directional sound is take one of those cardboard boxes that you can buy at the craft stores that you store photos and videos in, and mount it so the camera is in the box pointing forward. And you can put some handles on the box, and you can have the camera inside the box, and the enclosure of the camera will kind of block the sound from behind and the sides, and leaving you more of a sound collecting opening in the front. That's another option that you could use to make more of a front directional audio capability for these cameras that don't have external mic jacks. So again, being creative and making homemade stuff to work for you is really the way to go with this kind of hobbyist type of video work. Well, okay, this has been Joe Van Cleve, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.